Season 16 has already proven itself to be one of the most unpredictable years in Gold Rush history, and Episode 3, Rick's Bold Call, takes that volatility to another level. This sneak peek dives deep into the mounting pressure facing each of the show's biggest miners. From heated negotiations to flooded ground to rookies flipping trucks, this episode promises explosive moments and emotional turning points. As Episode 3 opens, Ness stands at a crossroads that feels eerily familiar. After clawing his way back into the mining game, Rick has spent the early days of the season searching for a claim that could finally give him a fighting chance. Rick had earlier agreed to a 15% royalty with landowner Troy Taylor for the Diamond Cut claim, but it appears the story is far from over. When the landowner lays everything out, Rick freezes. The numbers don't add up. The restrictions feel like a trap. And the more he listens, the more his instincts scream that this could strangle his comeback before it even begins. Instead of staying silent or folding under pressure, Rick pushes back. What unfolds is a tense, uncomfortable negotiation, one that reveals just how much Rick has grown. He challenges the terms, demands fairness, and refuses to mortgage his entire season on a piece of paper designed to bleed him dry. His voice is steady, his reasoning sharp, and his determination unmistakable. This is not the Rick Ness of past seasons. This is a miner with something to prove. But bold moves come with bold consequences. If the deal collapses, Rick could lose his window to begin mining. But if he wins, he might finally secure the groundbreaking shot he's been waiting for. Episode 3 will show viewers exactly how far Rick is willing to go to defend his future and whether fate rewards his courage or punishes his defiance. While Rick battles on the negotiation front, Parker Schnabel's crew is fighting a very different kind of war on the ground. Parker is targeting a record-breaking season of 10,000 ounces of gold, and he knows the only way to reach that goal is by getting all 4 ore washeries fully operational. Falling behind is simply not an option. The cut Tyson oversees has flooded catastrophically, turning the mining site into a muddy, waterlogged mess that threatens to halt production at the worst possible time. Pumps are running non-stop, but the water wins battle after battle. Tyson, Parker's level-headed foreman, is calm on the outside, but inside, he's juggling a swelling storm of pressure. Not only must he fight through the flooded cut, he must also whip a batch of brand new recruits into shape. These rookies are green, nervous, and still figuring out how to maneuver heavy machinery without melting under the stress. And in the middle of this chaos is Amy Lee, the rookie nobody expected. Just days ago, Amy was a science teacher. She arrived on site with no mining background, no equipment experience, and no real sense of how raw and brutal the industry can be. But she threw herself into training, absorbing every detail, every instruction, every safety rule like her entire future depended on it. Now, Tyson decides it's time to see what she's really capable of. He assigns her the high-pressure task of feeding material into the wash plant, a job that even experienced operators sometimes fail. Tyson stays close, coaching her through bucket angles, flow consistency, and how to avoid starving or overloading the plant. He stresses safety relentlessly. Amy listens to every word, determined not to let fear win. And slowly, something incredible happens. She begins to steady. Her movements sharpen. Her confidence grows. The crew watches from a distance, surprised and impressed as Amy transforms from a nervous rookie into someone who might become a core part of the team. Tyson, usually reserved, can't hide the spark of pride forming as she improves, a rare, powerful moment in the middle of a relentless, stressful day. For Parker's operation, victories have been hard to come by this season. But in Episode 3, Amy Lee may be the breakthrough they didn't know they needed. Meanwhile, the Beets operation, always a powder keg waiting for a spark, finally blows up. Tony Beets, the king of the Klondike, has never been a man blessed with infinite patience. But this season, as he tries to push his crew into overdrive, he finds himself surrounded by inexperienced rookies whose mistakes keep piling up. And Episode 3 gives us the moment when Tony's frustration erupts into full fury. A rookie truck driver misjudges a corner, the truck tips, and the entire site screeches to a halt. Before the crew can fully process the mess, another rookie screws up in almost the exact same way, another truck flipped, another chunk of time lost, another expensive repair looming over the operation. That's it. Tony snaps. He storms across the claim with the force of a bulldozer, unleashing a tirade that echoes across the site. His voice roars with anger, disbelief, and sheer exhaustion at the incompetence unfolding in front of him. Rookies freeze. Veterans stare at the ground. And every second of this meltdown reminds viewers why Tony Beets is one of the most explosive personalities in Gold Rush history. For Tony, the message is simple: mistakes cost money, time, and gold, and he is rapidly running out of all three. Kevin's team, meanwhile, faces a critical depth issue similar to a team losing key starters mid-season. Consistency, workforce morale, and equipment maintenance are now heightened concerns. Kevin will probably need to add more manpower to make up for the previous loss to Parker Schnabel. By the time episode 3 ends, viewers will feel the rising temperature of season 16. Rick is gambling with negotiations that could shape his destiny. Tyson is fighting water, time, and the fear that his rookies will fall apart under the pressure. Amy Lee is proving that even a newcomer from outside the mining world can rise to the challenge. And Tony Beets is battling a crew whose blunders threaten to sabotage his entire season. Every mine boss is stretched thin. Every crew is tested. Every decision carries weight. Rick's bold call sets the stage for what may become one of the most unpredictable and dramatic seasons in Gold Rush history, and this episode is only the beginning. As episode 2 of Gold Rush season 16 comes to a close, the mine owners are starting to see just how high the stakes are this season. With only a small portion of the work completed, the numbers already hint at who is on track and who will need to fight tooth and nail to keep up. Tony Beets has managed to pull in a solid haul so far, amassing roughly 630 ounces of gold, worth over $2 million. While his claim is performing steadily, Tony's operation hasn't hit full speed yet, and maintaining his edge will require keeping a close eye on his rookie crew, who are still learning the ropes. Parker Schnabel, meanwhile, is leading the pack by a wide margin. With nearly 400 ounces of gold in the early days, his haul is already valued at around $11 million. The pressure is on for Parker to keep all four washeries running smoothly if he wants to reach his ambitious season goal of 10,000 ounces. Every decision, every machine, and every crew member will count as he pushes for record-breaking numbers. Rick Ness, unfortunately, is still waiting for his first payoff this season. With no gold in the bag yet, Rick faces the daunting task of getting his new claim up and running while navigating tough deal negotiations and a crew that is still settling in. His early season performance will require careful planning and some bold moves to avoid falling behind. Kevin Beets has managed a modest start, pulling in roughly 100 ounces of gold, worth just under $400,000. However, the loss of key crew members to Parker Schnabel has left gaps in manpower that could slow his progress. Kevin will likely need to bolster his team and stabilize operations if he hopes to stay competitive. Overall, while some mine owners are off to a blazing start, others have their work cut out for them. With the season still young, anything can happen in the Klondike, and every ounce of gold counts.